In the aftermath of a week riddled with secrets and shifting loyalties, the halls of General Hospital once again pulsed with the intensity of emotional reckonings and looming consequences. Amid the sterile lights and quiet hum of machines, a new life had just begun as Sasha Corbin held her newborn daughter for the first time, a baby named Daisy. The name, chosen with a sense of gentle hope, seemed to stand in stark contrast to the chaos that surrounded her entrance into the world. Though Daisy's arrival should have been a purely joyous event, it instead acted as a catalyst for truths long buried to begin clawing their way to the surface. At the heart of the brewing storm was Drew Kane, a man driven by guilt, fear, and his unyielding determination to shield Willow from every potential threat, even if that threat came in the form of Nina Reeves. Drew's presence at the hospital was anything but coincidental. He had been watching, waiting, measuring each move that Michael Corinthos made with Willow, each moment that might provide an opening in the ever-shifting battle for custody. It was in one such quiet moment that Drew witnessed Michael and Willow, side by side, their children at their feet, unified and warm, a portrait of the family that once was and perhaps, in Michael's mind, still could be. But Drew saw only betrayal in that togetherness. In his eyes, the bond between Michael and Willow wasn't healing, it was defiance. It was a threat. Across town, at the Port Charles Police Department, Assistant District Attorney Molly Lansing Davis made a quietly personal but politically charged decision. She removed herself from the case involving Natalia Ramirez. Her refusal stemmed from deep resentment over Natalia's treatment of Christina, and though she framed it as a conflict of interest, it sent ripples through the department. Natalia, now desperate, left a voicemail pleading for help, for Marco Rios. But Marco had no time to wait for salvation. He was busy warning Jen Sidwell that any move against Sonny Corinthos would be suicidal. Port Charles was no place to challenge a man like Sonny without expecting fallout. While dangerous alliances whispered in the shadows, a more overt power struggle was unfolding in broad daylight. Anna Devane, never one to back down from tension, found herself ambushed in the park by Ada Turner. Their conversation, tense and laced with veiled threats, revealed Turner's ambitions to unseat Robert Scorpio and her determination to take down Jason and Sonny along the way. The threat was unmistakable, but Anna, aware of the thin line she now walked, chose to face it directly. Her eventual meeting with Sonny was not to alarm him, but to prepare him. Still, Sonny was unimpressed. Power, after all, was as familiar to him as breathing. But even he knew the landscape was shifting. Back at Curtis Ashford's place, another kind of reckoning took place. Curtis, reeling from the discovery that Portia had played a role in drugging Drew, found himself confiding in his father, Marshall. Surprisingly, Marshall counseled forgiveness. Perhaps the second chance he never gave Jordan could now be offered to Portia. Jordan, arriving not long after, brought news of Jacinda's downward spiral and reinforced the danger Drew now represented. For Curtis, clarity was a luxury he no longer had, priorities had to be chosen quickly. Keeping Portia safe had moved to the top of that list. Meanwhile, Nina made her way to Drew's doorstep, where threats and blackmail were exchanged in the name of custody and leverage. Nina reminded Drew that exposing her could just as easily backfire on him. She still had the power to damage his fragile relationship with Willow, and she wasn't afraid to use it. But Drew had set his sights on something larger: full custody, relocation to DC, a clean slate. Nina proposed compromise, but Drew wasn't listening. He was too deep in a campaign of retaliation disguised as protection. Back at General Hospital, amid the hum of monitors and the murmur of nurses, the arrival of Daisy offered brief moments of connection. Sonny, meeting his niece for the first time, found a sliver of peace in the swirl of crisis. Michael, unexpectedly contrite, apologized to his father, and for the first time in what felt like years, they spoke not as enemies but as two men humbled by life. Sonny, always a step ahead, suggested Daisy might be the bridge that could mend a fractured family. Whether Michael believed it or not, he couldn't deny the weight of Sonny's words. Elsewhere in the hospital, Cody Bell dropped in to visit Sasha and the baby, and in doing so found unexpected companionship with Molly. Their conversation was light, but not insignificant. Two people, caught in the orbit of chaos, finding temporary solace at the Metro Court pool. It was a moment of human pause in a narrative otherwise fueled by conflict. Carly Spencer, meanwhile, had her own reckoning. She expressed gratitude to Willow for helping deliver the baby, but Felicia Scorpio's pointed encouragement led her to revisit her choices. When Carly saw Jason with Sasha, her gratitude gave way to confrontation. The truth about paternity had finally reached her, and she wasn't about to let Jason's betrayal pass unchecked. Jason, cornered, laid out his reasons, his regrets. But the damage was done. Sasha, still recovering and too exhausted to wage any new emotional war, listened quietly as Nina offered yet another confession. She had given Rick Lansing the information about the baby's father. Nina claimed it came from love, from fear, from wanting to shield Sasha from more heartache. But Sasha, in her newfound clarity as a mother, had no tolerance left for manipulation. Her only concern now was that Willow, entangled in Drew's battle plan, was making decisions that might spiral out of control. Later, in one of the hospital's quieter corridors, Michael brought Wiley and Amelia to see their new sister. Wiley's innocent question, if Willow could come too, broke the tension for a brief moment. Together, the family looked through the glass at Daisy, united in a moment of wonder and peace. Amelia and Wiley waved goodbye as they left, their small hands pressed against the glass. Michael and Willow exchanged a gentle smile, one filled with memories, pain, and uncertain possibilities. But lurking just a few feet away, Drew watched them. And what he saw wasn't unity, it was a threat to everything he was fighting for. There would be no truce, not yet. In the days to come, Drew's next move would make it clear. The war was far from over, and the lines had only just been drawn. In Port Charles, peace never lasted long.